For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Outdoors with me, Mike. Today I'm giving you guys a bit of a review video on a very exciting product from a company called Zempire. So Zempire, if you've not really heard them before, they're a New Zealand brand, been around for a while now, and kind of their ethos is that they want to make probably the highest spec and probably the best quality product in tents. And to be fair, with some of the features that this particular model has and the spec it has, it certainly seems to go in the right way about it. Generally, Zempire have been running around for a while now. I mean, they offer probably a longer warranty than most manufacturers. So with the Pro Series, you get a 4-year manufacturing warranty, which is impressive when most of the manufacturers are 2, if not 1 year at best. Generally, it's inflatable, so it's very quick and easy to put up. This one in particular I've got with me is in the Pro Series, the TXL. They also make a TL and TM, which essentially is a slightly smaller berth. So the TM is designed as sort of a 4-berth, TL is a 5-berth, and then the EXL, which I've got with me here, is more as sort of like an 8-berth, with a sort of 6 on the back and then an extra 2-bed in the living area. All the features I'm talking about now is the same across all of the ranges. So regardless of what size, basically they run at the same spec and kind of the same layout and certainly features. First and foremost, you're running with a 210 denier fabric. It's also ripstocks, so it's very strong and reinforced, but it's also got an astonishing hydrostatic head of 10,000 mil, which is beyond what you really need, to be fair. It's actually a UN spec polyester, so it's sort of United Nations who do their disaster tents. This is the same material that they use for that, so it's been very much tried and tested across, the world really. You've got each beam is done individually, and yet again, because it's kind of a New Zealand brand, they probably have a bit more of extreme climates back in probably New Zealand, so hotter summers and cooler winters. So what you find is this tent is sort of more equipped to that, and I think actually it suits our UK market really well. So tons of ventilation points with mesh nearly on every single panel to help obviously give a circulation to make it a bit cooler on the inside. So these are probably going to be the best sort of well-ventilated polyester tents on the market, really. There's a couple of unique features in terms of the way, when I talk about extra details and not really compromising on sort of second best for anything, things like you've got every single pegging point has a webbing strap. Pretty much nearly every single one of them is adjustable. You've then got a metal sort of big solid ring, not plastic, around there to really get some torsion into. You've got obviously luminous guide ropes. You've got gold anodized pullers rather than just plain silver or chrome or whatever, really. Then you go into obviously beautiful PVC windows. They're actually kind of very much a slightly more manual fabric in terms of PVC, so it means that you get less crinkles. It actually, because they're tinted, yet again, you don't have the heat going in so much, but you also get the privacy when you want to. So you've got obviously swooping big lines with mesh to allow air to flow through, sky windows in the canopy area, so the list goes on and on and on. We've also got things like your rain-safe door for the side. You get big mesh beneath the bedroom part to get a big circulation, and there's a big mesh vent again at the back. You'll get sick of me saying mesh soon. And then obviously the very striking opening part, which is the gull wing door. So this, as you can see from our Attwoolls pitching video, I've pitched this model on my own in the best part of about 12 minutes. For something that is the biggest tent in their range, I think is very good actually, to be fair. And it comes in a nice sort of pack size with a heavy duty carry handle. Yet again, when you actually pack away the tent, well, you've got a sort of thick webbing strap, yet again with 2 metal D-rings, so you can actually wrap it around and get some torsion on it, not sort of the off-cut of a bit of cord that you might find from other manufacturers. The poles are included with the actual tent as well, so you can create this kind of what they call gull wing door. It comes out on the canopy, so you can have it at sort of flexibility if you want to as well. Alternatively, it just comes down, can roll all the way up to have a nice open canopy. Or alternatively, you can see it's almost got like a little side entrances coming down here, so you can nip in both sides. So you've got a bit of shelter from the wind, but also have the flexibility of having an entrance way in as well. And it's the same on both sides. It doesn't matter if the wind or rain turns. You can also exit or entry either side of the tent as you want to, really. Other things to mention is you've got a sort of zip on the front. So going forward, there might be an optional extra on the front for an extra canopy, which yet again, I think will be a sort of benefit. Is that ability to sort of extend it on, means you can have the door in place and still have some shelter as well. But like I said, we'll talk through a few more features about this quite unique tent as we have a bit more of a better look on what it has to offer on the inside. So now we're inside the Pro TXL. You probably have a bit more better experience of certainly the layout, but also the sheer size you've got in here. So this, like I say, is the largest in the range, but a model sits below it in the L model, which is the same kind of length, just a little bit narrower, and then the M, which is kind of a lot smaller all in all. So we'll sort of start from sort of the front canopy area and work our way back. So as we had something else, so you've got the ability to enclose the front if you wanted to. You can make it nice and sort of watertight. You've got a decent amount of height throughout the tent, even in sort of the corners. So you can stand up in here quite happily, no problem at all. The windows really do help, the tinting just helps to make it a bit cooler in here, but also really do help get great clarity, and that extra sort of difference in the PVC does make quite a bit of a difference. Low level mesh really helps give us nice circulation of air to make it a lot cooler in here, even though it's sort of a nice thick polyester tent. But the joys with the actual curtains as well, they're all zipped, so you can just sort of unravel it, zip it up like so. Difference being actually what you got as well is you've got the ability to still have it vented while the curtain's still up, so it's not sort of the end and all. These little toggle points here can go through there, and what it does, it just brings that away, well, the bit of material just away. You can do it both sides as well, or just sort of have it one side. So you've got two zips on the runners to sort of play with it as you want to. So let's do this back zip there. Yeah, I can pull out and go to there. So you have a little bit of an airflow coming through, which allows to have the privacy, but also make it not as kind of sort of stuffy in here as you want it to be. Moving on, you've got a little clip in the canopy area as well, which you can also use as a hanging point for lanterns. And then you're moving into the living area and using what they call their 360 door. So obviously it can be zipped away all the way around, and there's a really nice neat storage pocket just located for it to be dumped in here. And yet again, you've got a full mesh door and a full normal door in place, so you can sort of choose between having sort of, well, you know, half plain door, rest mesh, or all plain. So nice with lots of flexibility. So it really helps sort of to fight sort of again the critters. And then you can just roll it in there, dump in a nice big pocket there, and sort of then it's out of sight, out of mind. And actually, by doing that, it kind of opens up the main area quite a bit, and it feels, you know, relatively like one sort of area. So if you have the door shut, it's a good in sort of internal space. You've got an additional bedroom supplied with the tent as well that comes into the main living area. So that's the ability to sleep the extra two people. Really, it's a very comfy 6-berth, and certainly at the back, what you find is actually they give you about 147 per two people, which is it's bigger than most manufacturers do for any double airbed as well. So you can actually sleep reasonably well and have sort of, you know, lots of space even for a double airbed by the side of yourself. Storage pockets in the front of the bedroom allow you to help you declutter the tent as well. But also what's quite different is there's actually the same pockets on the reverse side. So it means that in the master bedroom, if you were in the middle, you can still use it organising on the inside tent even when you're sort of zipped up in your element. The zip dividers between the whole sections mean you can have it as a 2, 2 and a 2, or completely open to make it one big 6-berth or a 4 and 2. So you've got ultimate amount of versatility. There's a rain-safe canopy door on the side here, and you've got 2 mesh doors either side, yet again to help with that circulation of air. And when we talked about sort of lots of mesh, we saw it from the outside. The front panel's got mesh in, the back panel's got mesh in beneath the nice PVC windows. Sides have got mesh in. Below the door, below the sort of bedroom compartment has also got mesh in, and finally there's a really nice big mesh panel right at the back to allow air to flow all the way through the tent as well. And all of them, like I said, can be pretty much closed or sort of half open, so you have an airflow, but also the, you know, not too much draft. I think probably it's one of the big worries maybe for people is that because there's so much vest, it's going to be much colder in here on sort of a cold day. Not necessarily the case, because you have got the ability to seal it all up, and that's kind of why, like I said, with the different climates in New Zealand, why this works very well. You've also got things like unique points like hanging points. So you've got a little Velcro tabs which are pre-stitched in So you can hang a lantern and actually droop the cable down to cable entry points either side. And pretty much, like I said, not only does that beam have them, but there's also a main clip point on the front end, well, for the brow canopy there, where that's sort of in there as well. Then you also got little cable entry points in the top of the bedrooms. So you can have your little electric light hanging just through this little clip. So you can hang something in there and then you can allow light to shine down on it as well. There's a mesh panel in the front of the bedroom as well, yet again to allow airflow all the way through. And every bedroom's got their own individual hanging point and cable entry point as well. The external cable entry points are located pretty much down the bottom here. And then you've got the same on the other side. Just nice and neatly down there, so it's out the way. You haven't got to have to leave the door open the whole time for the cable to come in. One of probably the very unique features that also you find in this model is the fact that the carpet clips in. So a big bugbear with people is that when you step into the living area, the carpet always moves out the way. So it's not necessarily the case with this particular model, because it clips in the main four corners and also allows you to keep the bedroom in place as well. And the joy is it means that as you come in, because it's on elasticated webbing straps, it doesn't really slide around. And actually, when you sit down, and certainly like we've got it down in our showroom, you see that it just blends into the ground sheet and feels like a part of the ground sheet as well. So that's where, you know, another sort of unique point about this particular tent. But overall, really popular model. Darker bedrooms to help you sleep, you know, a bit longer, hopefully, in the mornings. But very good. I think certainly one that's very much in a field of its own in terms of, you know, the level of spec. Admittedly, you do pay a little bit more for that, but you can see where all these features add up and why you're paying necessarily a little bit more for it. But then again, if you want something that's, you know, very good quality and something that's got like a long warranty, and the aftercare service generally with Zempire tends to be very good as well, and you can sort of get spare beams very easily, which is always brilliant. So it's definitely one to sort of consider and check out if need be our indoor showroom. There is also a version of this, I will say, that it's polycotton. So, you know, it's that extra sort of level of breathability in terms of the fabric, and certainly if you're going across to abroad or even in the UK, you will notice a big temperature difference. You can check out our own video review on that. It's basically the Pro TXL, just to confuse you even more. But of course, like I said, check out our other videos we've got on pitching this model as well. But that kind of in essence is the Zempire Pro series with the TM, TL, and then this one here, the TXL.